you have the evidence. You know that I saved you. You know some of you were on drugs and I brought you out. You know some of you were on alcohol and I brought you out. You know some of you were caught up in all kinds of different vices and I rescued you. You know that when you were broke, who helped you. You know when you were jobless, who gave you a job. You know who kept your family together. You know who brought your kids out of the miry clay and put their feet on a rock to stay. You know what I did. You know when you were sick that I healed you. You know when you went on a hospital bed, I got you out. You know you prayed, you fasted, you cried, you hollered to me, and you know what I did. So how could you, my witnesses, make whatever is going on today as if God don't exist and go to other gods? So the hardest thing for me to understand is how my witnesses could start worshiping other gods. You are a witness of all that happened in all the life that I gave you. The time that I saved you, from the time I saved you to where you are now, you are a witness. How could you go date somebody else? How could you even entertain the thought of having another God? How could that be? How could you share my Sunday morning with somebody else? How could that become so important to you that you could miss Sunday morning? My time. I gave you 6 days. It's my day. It's time to come home. But you would miss it. You wouldn't get on live. You wouldn't come to church. You just say, oh, it's a good time to take a nap. I'm going to go back to church. How could you when I woke you up all week? When you know who saved you, when you know who kept you, who restored you, who built your life from where it was to where it is today, how could you miss the one day I asked for and take a break? How could you worship somebody else? See, that's the thing. 40 years of marriage, asking the question. From the time he saved us to today, how many years that is, he's asking the question. How could you, Israel, when I brought you from slavery, some of us, our slavery was drugs. Some of us, slavery was alcohol. Some of us, slavery was just partying. Some of us, slavery was just chasing one woman after the next. Some people, slavery was all over the place. I brought you. I baptized you in the Red Sea. I got you out. I took you through the wilderness. I put you in this promised land that you now live in, that you're all excited about. I did that. How could you, of all people, say there's another God? You know the story. You've witnessed it. That's why he says there's no other.